Hey folks, how's it going? I hope you're well and welcome to this tutorial video for how to fit lights to the Lego cargo train from 2018. This is set number 60198 and if you've seen my video on 60197, which is the passenger train, then you'll see that the lights were really easy to fit. However, with the cargo train, there isn't anywhere really to put any lights. There's no cable path or anything like that. And in order to fit them, I've had to rebuild the front of the train where the lights will go. So this is the front of the train before it's been modified. And this is the modified version. So if I do that, you can see there are lights fitted. Now, this is a different front now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this back to the unmodified version and then I'll go through how I've built the front of the train so you see the full process of how the cables are run and everything like that. And I'll also give a parts list of what's needed. That's going to be in the description down below so you can find out what bits you need to order if you want to duplicate this. Now this isn't going to be the only way you can do it. You can find your own solution, but with the parts I had, this is how I managed to complete it. So yes, all the information will be in the description down below. But if you follow this video, I'll show you step by step how I went about modifying this so I could have lights at the front of the train. So here we have the unmodified engine. This is how you build it straight away from the set itself. This is where the motor is. So this is going to be the front of the train. This is the ends that I will be modifying. And these are the parts that I've used in order to get the lights where they are. I'll go through how to build all these bits, but we'll see it as we go through the actual build itself. So first of all, we need to open this up and take some bits apart. So it's easier just to take the powered up controller out first of all. Hopefully, well, in this case it's taken the cab roof off, but we also need to take the cab apart as well. So I'm just going to take the windows off. Take the engineer out as well. And then in here we have the seat, the controller and everything like that. So take the white tile off. We need to take the front off. This bit I've used pieces that I have so I can build as much as possible without reusing pieces. But if you find a piece that you can reuse in here, then yeah, it's best to reuse pieces. But because I'm making a video, then I had to do this differently. So this entire piece here, I didn't need any of the pieces out of here. And of course you can see there's nowhere for the lights to go. So we've got the headlights here, but there's nowhere for these lights to go, which is disappointing. But if I take these front pieces off as well, the red, remove these. Now I need these, I'm going to reuse these. And I'm also going to reuse these green plates as well. Take this off. So anything sort of at the front here, I'm going to be using. Take this apart. Remove that red. Get rid of that as well. And also I'm going to take away this red seat here and all of this bit. You can reuse some of this, but I've built my own kind of seating arrangement. In this case, I'll use the brick separator just for the purpose of this video. So there we go, that's the front of the engine off, and there's a clear path there so we can start adding our own modification for where everything goes. Now this is the sort of the modified driver piece. So instead, this is the original one, and there's absolutely no way you can get cables through here. So what I've done is I've just used 1x1 bricks. That's 2 1x1 bricks high with a tile piece over the top. And then I've just put the seat at the front. That's a 2x4 plate with a seat there. You can see there's gaps now, so we can run a cable through that gap past the seat and then to the front of the engine. So I'll put this in here where the original one was, just close to the blue tiles there, and that sits in nicely. Now the next stage is we've got to make sure that the cables can run past the seat and then through to the front of the train. So I'm just going to put a 1x2 brick, brown brick in this case, just next to the seat there, and that's where this sort of control board, where the engineer works, that's going to sit on that eventually, but we'll put that in once we've run the cables through. Next step is to actually get the front of the train, which is this part, connected to the front, and that's just going to sit like that. But what I'll do is I'll take this apart and we can see how I've built it, so you'll have a clear idea how it goes together. Okay, so first up we take this 4x4 plate and we add these two 1x2 plates here. I'm using all white here just to keep the colour scheme going of the actual cargo train. Then I'm going to add these pieces, which are just the sort of like car headlamp, green ones. Got the little lip at the bottom. I fit those just at the front there. So we end up with that. Next up, I've got this piece here, which is like a 1x2, it's green. We've got the two studs at the front. That goes like so. So once we've got that, we can add sort of like the curved front piece of the train, which is this sort of wing piece. I've put a little 1x2 tile there, all white, and that can go at the front, just like that. So now we have that, we've got the front of the train starting to take shape. So the next part we have is this. If I just take this apart, we've got this 1x1 brick with a stud at the front. There's no lip here, that's all it is. And it's white, and I've just got a white 1x1 plate at the bottom. I'm going to take this sort of, I don't know, 2x1 slope piece, and if I put it this way around, then I can add it to this side, and there you go. Kind of adds a nice little slope at the front of the train. So I'll take another one. We've got the 1x1 plate already added. And what I'm doing is I'm putting it in this stud, in this middle stud. So it's not going at either end, but it's going in the middle. So it's just like that. We put it at the other side. So now we have both sides of the train with the lamps and the two studs in the middle. Now once I've done that, I can add this piece. Now all this piece is, so here we go, we've got 1x1 brick that's modified and it's got a lip at the bottom, and we have this stud at the front. It's a 1x6 plate, which is green. So I'm just going to put that like that. Put a small little 1x1 slope piece in it, and there's one on each side. I'm just going to put that on the 1x1 studs. So now we have something that looks like this. Just straighten these slopey bits up. So it looks like that now. So there you go, that's coming along. Next part is a 1x4 brick and a 1x1 plate. So I put those together and place that on the front like so. And there we have, that's the front of the train. Okay, so now we have this part complete. We can now run the lights through part of the train, so they just come out and we can fit them so they're actually connected to this part here. So I'm just going to run the cables. You just remove this white tile here, you can just run them. It doesn't have to be too perfect at the moment. Put that on top again, and it's easier if we just take this 1x6 off, and then we should be able to get in here and just fit the lights into these small headlamp pieces. So that's one, and that's two. So there you go, we've got both lights now fitted to the front of the train. Put this green 1x6 back on top of that. There we go, nice and snug. Fitted quite nicely there. All right, and now for the next stage is we can fit this part to the front. So if we just push that in on the train, that's how it looks at the moment. Now the next bit is just to make sure that it's all secure and we can rebuild the front of the train again. Now this is where this bit comes in again. It's sort of like 1x6 plate, a yellowy orange. We've got that. We've got this orange 1x4 again, so that can go back in, and that covers up some of the cables. These 2x1 bricks that are green, they fit in like so, and that's holding the front of the train on quite nicely. Now, you can also use 2x4 brown brick. That can just go on top like that, because it makes it a bit more secure. And we're just starting to rebuild the train now. If I put the engineer in, like so, there's the engineer, and we can put his control panel in so he can actually drive the train. If I can fit it in, his hands are going to get in the way. Oh no! Right, there we go. Put him in like so. There we go. So he can now control the train, finish off 2x3 plates. They can just go on top like so. And then finally, this part, just to make up the front of the train, just goes over like that. There you have the front of the train as it is. Just need to finish it off with the actual cargo tile from the original part. Now what I've done is I've taken a 2x2 plate and I've put that underneath it, and the reason for that is just so it sticks out a little bit and it just makes it a bit more complete at the front. That's not really, I think that's just my own personal taste. And then put the windows in at the front. We've got the two tiles there. Now next step is to get all these cables to fit in and connect back to the controller. So we've got the controller there. I'll move that in. You can see the controller there. We've got the motor connected to B. There's a spare gap there just for the lights. So I'll plug the lights in. If I can get my fingers in. Okay, so the lights are now connected to the controller just in that bit. It's just a case of trying to fit all these cables in. Once you start adding cables to these trains, or these engines, you can start getting a few issues just with space, everything fitting correctly, but hopefully we'll get everything in and it won't cause too many issues. Sometimes you can find this bit just bounces up a little bit if you haven't got the cables in a nice way, but that's pretty much it. So there you go, that's modified with the lights in. So if I turn that on and I turn this on, got to get the right one. You can see the lights turning on there. For the red, if I press the red button, they turn off. We've got them on again. And there you have it. That's how I've added lights to my green cargo train, which is set 60198, which was from 2018. Slightly confused why Lego didn't put paths in and everything for lights in the first place, as it's a new powered up system and everything like that. Can't say I'm angry, maybe a little bit disappointed. But yeah, it just gave the opportunity for me to be a bit creative and find a way of, well, putting lights in and making it look similar to the original build. Hopefully you like this. Like I say, I've put the parts list in the description down below, so you'll be able to get the pieces. And if you want to replicate this, then feel free, you can. And yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and click subscribe if you found this video useful, and I will see you in the next one.